Hey, what is going on, everyone? Ron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And you may be thinking, what is wrong with this video? And guys, this has got to be one of my favorite videos that I've ever done. I want to set the stage for you guys. This was the game at which this person decided that they were going to go on the holy grail of hate mail. So here is the mini map from that game from the spawn. I spawned at A here with a Des Moines and another battleship, I forget, and then their division spawned at B, a triple German battleship division. Well, you guys can only imagine how that went. Now, granted, I did not have the best game this game, but I ended with 100,000 damage, 2k XP on the leaderboard, and I survived. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and we will kind of add in things as we go. So I got this message shortly after this game. I didn't see it till the next day. I usually go back every now and then and try and say GG's if you guys say GG's. But this person said, "Hey, blank friend," and I wanted to block out their name because the person which they're talking about is actually a really cool dude. So I didn't want to incorporate them in this, but they said, "Hey, blank friend, thanks for us taking all that whooping while you sat over there and did nothing. Come on, man up. You could have intercepted some of that stuff." And here is 11 minutes and 56 seconds into the game. I am very close to the A-cap, out in position here with 4 ships on our flank. If you will notice, there is already 1 battleship dead, and guess who? It is one of the ships in the triple division of German battleships who have aggressively pushed into the Bravo cap. So I guess at this point in the game, I was supposed to have already been through A and killed all of their team. Because that's definitely how you play this game on shards at legendary tier when you have a triple German battleship division. You rush into the middle and put yourself in a crossfire. So because of what I just told you, I seriously thought this person was joking because they kind of name dropped somebody I knew. And well, they weren't. No, I'm not joking at all. And this is voice. I had the app can transcribe the text, so some of it may be off and not exactly what he said, but I just can't include the voice and all that stuff. So no, I'm not joking at all. We had pressed B successfully. Hold on. Hold on. Here is the game less than 5 minutes in. All 3 of their ships are dead. B is not capped, and they did manage to kill a destroyer, but a 3-for-1 trade with no cap is not pressing B successfully. So let's just clear that up right now. You were on A, not confronting the boats at your point. There was a Minotaur bombing us from your point. So here's just a pro tip for all my manly battleship players. If you're getting bombed on from a cruiser and you can't see him, maybe reposition or don't rush into the middle of Shard's B spawn. Just a small pro tip. In your group, I don't know if they were in your party, which you can look at the menu and determine if somebody is in a division or not. I was not in a division in this game, but there was a Des Moines with radar. He did nothing to either detect or attack or divert that minute you sat behind that rock. So again, I think the voice message kind of messed up the end of that, but also LOL. And again, I'm not going to say that I had the best game, but at this point in the game, less than 5 minutes in, you can see that the Des Moines and I are very close to the cap, and we have worked a good amount of damage off of the battleship. There's also a Stalingrad here. There's a Conquer moving in from the middle, and there's also a Mino. So I don't know what this person is talking about. It had to have been this game because it's the only game I had with them, but maybe they were just, incredibly intoxicated. But that was 5 minutes into the game. I should have just left this alone, but I replied anyway. I said, "I'm a cruiser, bro. Be a man and rush in and die, or strategically position and win." And then he says, "It was a cruiser hitting us. A Des Moines or a Henry can individually wipe out a Minotaur. But there's also a Kurfürst and a Stalingrad and a Conquer there. So let's just remember that, right? Yes, 1v1, I can rush in a Henry and take out a Mino. It wasn't 1v1. Also, I hope that he's assuming that the radar and sonar are on the Des Moines because the Henry does not have that. The Henry has a sonar, but he's expecting us to go in and push just so we can radar the Mino so his insane push at B works so he can shoot the Mino. Right. So he then goes on to send me a host of voice messages, at which point I know that this guy is just triggered beyond all belief. "You've played enough to know there's a big difference between rushing in and engaging your boats. I don't know if you saw what was happening, but I was engaging my boats. I'm not asking you to rush in." Well, you are if you're asking me to sonar a Mino in his smokescreen. That's rushing in. "I'm asking you to at least engage them." I was. so that you can't just shoot at your neighbor's boats. You're smarter than that. Oh God, maybe don't put yourself in a crossfire in B and you won't get engaged by the ships at A that we're working on. Anyway, and if you're the man that's creating this culture of everybody hiding behind rocks and not engaging the boats on their objective because of your internet BS, I'd really like to kick you square in the jimmy. So now we've moved to threats. I seriously think he's partly trolling, but I don't know, because the messages just get crazier and crazier. But I replied to this. I said, except there were 2 battleships, a Mino and a Stalingrad. You're mad that I didn't rush in and die and got 2,000 XP? LOL. And granted, not that it matters, but all of them scored 500 points or less below me. Again, just for reference, this is 30 seconds later. I'm being shot at by a Conqueror, a Stalingrad, a Kurfürst, and there's a Mino on my right. And this is the only time where I was remotely close to islands. And I don't know about you, but this doesn't really constitute as island cover. I'm just trying to manage my engagements here and not be shot by everybody, pushing that Mino off to my right. But as you can see, the Conqueror, the Kurfürst, and the Stalingrad were all shooting at me. And here's just where it gets comical. Both of the battleships are on the back of the island and had no angle to shoot you. I'm not mad that you didn't push on them. What? I was. We were all mad that you didn't even bother to detect them. I'm a cruiser! What do you... What does this guy want? You just let them bomb us while you sat down rocks. Okay, voice text probably messed that up, but we get another one. If you really want to have an intelligent discussion about this, it seems that there's no intelligence to be found, but I'll join a party with you. Be respectful about it, but no more excuses than this BS. Engage your matchups. This is the text below that. Engage your matchups. Don't hide and make them your neighbor's problem. Again, let's go back to this photo. Number 1, the battleships did have angles to shoot at me because those are the Conqueror shells, you can clearly see. Number 2, the Conqueror spawned in the middle with you guys. So maybe you should take your own advice and engage the ships in front of you so they don't become your neighbor's problem, because that Conqueror was shooting at me. So I replied, I said, maybe don't rush into the middle and put yourself in that crossfire. He goes, a minute later, we took the middle and had superiority. Right. Right, all of you guys dead without the B cap. That looks like superiority to me. That as taken from us when your matchups had free undetected shots on us while you 3 did nothing. Man up, boy. So at this point, I've figured out what's going on. This guy is mad that I said that I don't like will to rebuild, and I agree that it should have been nerfed. Because if this guy would have had will to rebuild, he could have easily made the extreme just shards into the middle everything push with his manly battleship, and he could have been more man than anyone in the game, and it would have been the ultimate moment for him. So he is just mad at me. I get it. I understand it now. He sends me another voice text which says, engage your boats, boy. That was really just we playing your part. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. No, you're not, if you're sending me this essay worth of messages, because I know who you are. Ah, we figured it out now. But I watched you after you died. We could have done a whole lot more. Well, maybe don't die then. Then you can do more. So I said, the XP board usually speaks for itself, LOL. Have a good day, man. I can't force you to understand a game. Which, oh boy, this set off the boomer alarm bells. So he said, I understand it quite well. Well, obviously you don't. Sanctimony is unwarranted in your part. Engage your matchups, boy. And then I said, obviously not, if you think that the reason you died was my fault. And and I will be addressing you as boy from here on out. Don't ever call me bro again, millennial. YouTube doesn't make you experienced. It just means you have an internet connection. Weak. So at this point, I'm just laughing at this whole thing. I said, okay, bro, grown adult complaining about a game in which we won. And then I honestly, I was like, I hope your day gets better, man. He goes, okay, wimp, give the controls to your boyfriend if you're too afraid to engage your matchups, boy. And guys, I gotta be honest, this video has taken me like 3 or 4 hours, and this was part of the editing process. I'm so proud of this next part, but here we go.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
I'm sorry, but that is just okay. I got to give myself credit for that one. That's just a great response. And he goes, "I did. The effort was not lacking on your end." Well, thanks. It wasn't lacking on my end. If you put as much effort into your tactics as you do your accolades for yourself, you might be a legit player, boy, and maybe grow a pair. But apparently, you're a few years from that. And then he goes on to correct the one of many spelling mistakes, few years from that. So I replied with the scoreboard, which you can see I didn't do great, but I got 2,000 XP and I didn't die. And then he goes on to message me again. I simply asked for some help engaging or at least detecting your unengaged matchups. Your fragility and weak self-esteem seems to be assaulted, and you attempted to turn it on us. In no way did I attempt to do that because you lack any introspect and are too insecure to admit fault. And then he goes, 3 minutes later, I have to get back to work. I don't live in a YouTube fantasy world. Man up, boy. Approximately 40 minutes later, I said, so let's get this straight. You rush in on Shard's B spawn and expect me to also rush in a cruiser just so I can maybe 1v5 and help you not die, but because I can't admit that, I am the fragile one. Mind you, we won the game and I scored nearly 500 more XP than you. The forums are going to love this one. I don't know. You guys in the comments, do you guys love this one? I sure do. So he goes on an epic rant 2 minutes later. I guess the line at the bouncy castle wasn't that busy at that time of day for his job. No, that is not what I expected. I expected one amongst you to either occupy or at minimum detect, since you were in cruisers. Yes, cruisers are known for detecting ships with such attributes so that the Minotaur could not rain hate from your objective onto us. You won't tell the story the right way. You'll spin. Don't pat yourself on the back about the score. Engage this conversation with some rationality and maturity rather than a deflected attempt to protect your assaulted ego. Well, guys, am I spinning it? So he sends me another message 5 minutes later. I guess I should apply to whatever job he has because he has a lot of free time. And then I replied, I said, not that it matters, but I have 2 jobs and work 60 hours most weeks. Now, some weeks it's 40, other it's 60, some it's 80. I work at a rural health clinic. Right now I'm doing research for substance abuse disorder. I'm also a trainer at that gym. I also train other people at another gym, and I also do YouTube. So, and I actually have a girlfriend, believe it or not. Not that matters for my argument, but when people throw it in my face, it's just funny. Also, I have a master's degree, and I didn't really want to throw this into the video, but I also look like this, just because I'm a little bit proud of the progress I've made. And again, none of that really matters. You shouldn't be messaging people like this regardless of who you are or whoever you think you are. Now, I've sent messages before like, hey man, we could have used some help with that destroyer, or moderately friendly messages. The game is very frustrating, I get it. But this guy, you're 100% in the wrong. You're in no way are you correct to send me a message like that. So, these messages go on, but a brief little caveat here if you've stayed to this point in the video. Don't be an utter asshole in this game. We all have our bad days. I've said some things I'm not necessarily proud of. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking video game, so why don't you go do something else with your time if you're really that frustrated with it, because obviously it's not something that, you're great at. And here I'm replying to what he said earlier about rational argument. I said, there's nothing rational about your argument. You put your ship in a bad spot. And I actually made a spelling mistake here. It should have been somehow. And somehow think I need to sacrifice my ship in order to be a good teammate. And then he goes, a minute later, no, I don't. Oi asked for a radar or spot, not sacrifice. I doubt you could tell what was going on behind the rock you stayed behind for most of the game, the B game. Get a job and let me get back to mine. Well, I'm not stopping you from going back to your job there, partner. Treat people with respect and you'll get it back. You've been the one hurtling insults and threats to me through this entire message. Your immediate child response doesn't warrant respect. It's a rant from a fragile ego YouTube. Millennial, you're the one who messaged me, bro. I don't think you realize how goofy you look. And dude, you look so goofy if you ever see this. I honestly hope that your day does get better. And then he goes, a minute later, mind you, I messaged you saying, really, you couldn't help with that? And that's not what you said, because it's in the chat here. And then he goes, not your bro. So he messages me 5 minutes later, unprompted, but apparently he has a job to get back to. Apparently, I have attacked you at the sole source of your self-esteem, and you are too defensive to find any fault in your tactics, so you've gone on the offensive. I don't really know when I've gone on the offensive other than telling you to maybe put as much effort into the game as you have this chat. And I said, no, I'm just getting great content out of this. And I am. This is one of my favorite videos. Oh, man. And then he messaged me 2 minutes later. So nothing about that job, huh? So you have no intention of going over the actual scenario. What scenario? You rushed into B and died. That's it. There's nothing else to go over. You just want sophomoric antics for your channel. Well, now I do, because it's turned into just an absolute shit show. Grow a pair, little man. No respect for you. You're a bad teammate and a sorry attempt at a man. Oh boy. Well, there you guys have it. Probably the best interaction I've ever had on Xbox. I really do hope this is a troll, because if not, that might be the most pathetic thing I've seen in my 15 years of online gaming. And that's probably what's part of the problem with Legends, is players like that think it's other players' fault that they are just god awful at this game and don't understand the game in the slightest. But you can't force people to understand the game, which is why we get frustrated, but you just move on. And this is also something you guys need to remember. These are your potential teammates, just ranting and raving while being dead in the first 5 minutes in a triple battleship division, mind you. So. But that's the video, guys. I actually have a job to get to today, so we got to go to work. Hope you guys had a good laugh out of that. I'm out. Peace.